According to the Federal Reserve, the United States right now is experiencing a worker shortage of about 3.5 million workers, which means we got jobs out there available just waiting for people to take them. 3.5 million at least. We just don't have the people for it. And economists know exactly who is to blame and why that person is to blame. To no one's surprise, the person to blame, of course, is Donald Trump, again, according to economists. And the reason he is to blame, and I'm going to add a second reason later, but the reason he is to blame, they say, is because of his anti-immigration policies while he was president. See, as it turns out, and I've mentioned this plenty of times here on Ring of Fire, economists have been mentioning it for decades, and that is the fact that our economy here in the U.S. is actually dependent upon immigrants coming into this country and taking the jobs that Americans simply don't want to take. Either the labor is too backbreaking, maybe the pay is not good enough, maybe you're holding out for something better. Whatever it is, maybe the hours are terrible, whatever it is. Let me just read it. I'm not even going to offer an analysis. I'll just read you what the economists say. Immigrants aren't just workers, they're particularly flexible, mobile workers who help address acute labor shortages wherever they emerge. And that's particularly important in this constrained economy we're facing right now. HuffPost goes on to say, they provide a flexible workforce and are often willing to do jobs Americans turn down, such as low-paying, physically demanding work in the hospitality, agriculture, construction, and healthcare industries. And that is the truth, actually. I always like to point to this example because it's the perfect example. Little over 10 years ago, maybe, the state of Georgia had a huge crackdown and cut down on the number of migrant workers they allowed into the state. Well, if you're not familiar with Georgia, it's a big farming state. So what happened was that farmers lost millions of dollars collectively. I think actually the state lost billions almost, because nobody was available to pick the crops. Nobody was working the fields. They couldn't find workers in Georgia because they stopped letting the migrants come in. Now, after this happened, they immediately said, oh crap, they let them start coming back in. And the economy eventually rebounded, as did the farmers. But that 1 year, right, that one particular instance is the perfect example as what happens. Now, the other side of the coin here is that these migrant workers, immigrant workers, are also treated exceptionally unfairly. They are put through incredibly hazardous conditions, which is completely unfair. Many of them are often paid below minimum wage. Those things have to change. We have to get these people full benefits, full pay. We're dependent on them. We need them more than they need us. And if we treat them right, if we treat them like human beings, we just might see some meaningful recovery in this sluggish economy. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.